Welcome to SeniorCare's Protective Services presentation for off-site staff and volunteers. I am Renee Carr, SeniorCare's Protective Services Director. This overview is intended to provide a basic understanding of elder abuse and the role of protective services, what reportable conditions are, how and when to report, and how we may interface with your professional roles. We will review reporting later in the presentation. SeniorCare's Protective Services Department is designated by the Massachusetts Executive Office of Elder Affairs. We are responsible for receiving and civilly investigating reports of elder abuse and providing needed protective services for seniors at risk. We have a set of mandates and regulations to follow when we are pointed in the direction of an elder who may be at some kind of risk in the community. Elder abuse is a term used to describe an act that can cause physical, emotional, financial, sexual harm, or neglect to an older person. There are 6 different reportable conditions or types of elder abuse or neglect. These are called reportable conditions. They are physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional or verbal abuse, financial exploitation, caregiver neglect, and self-neglect. Most often, there is more than one type of abuse occurring, as there are relationships between different types of abuse. Hands down, the most commonly reported type of abuse reported to this agency is self-neglect. And what that means is that the elder may not be meeting their own needs adequately enough to remain safely in the community setting. I want to take a minute to recognize all of you in the roles that are not inside of this agency, and that you are interfacing with the elders on a volunteer basis or as an off-site staff person. Your role is crucial to the well-being of the elders in our community. While you are providing your service, you may become aware of a situation that indicates that a person may be at risk or is in a deteriorating situation. That's why this topic is so important to talk about and to get people this information, because we can certainly rely on you in a lot of ways. We want to highlight that as much as we work within our roles at SeniorCare, we cannot physically be present with the elders at all times. We are not at the meal sites. We are not in the homes delivering meals, caring for an elder's pet, or managing bills. We are not in a car for a 30-minute ride or longer, bringing an elder to a medical appointment, engaging in conversation where you learn about each other, building rapport and relationships. We recognize and value these important roles. We want to encourage you to keep your eyes and ears open to help identify when something is going awry or not going great for an elder, and to take action and report your concerns to the right people at SeniorCare. When you are out in the community, perhaps delivering meals or driving an elder to an appointment, you may see warning signs such as a deteriorating living conditions, unexplained injuries, or changes in behavior or physical appearance. If you are an established Meals on Wheels driver and you are delivering meals to an elder, over time you get to know these elders. Without a lot of effort, you could tend to build relationships and connections. And you may realize over time, this house used to be really neat and tidy, and now realizing it is not that way anymore, and it's not great. There's stuff everywhere, and they're having a hard time finding a place to put the meal down. There may be odors that were not there before, and the elder is not looking like they used to. They may have lost weight or look unkempt. Those might be really good indicators that something is going on. It may be an indication that the elder may not be capably physically of doing what they had in the past. Maybe they need more support. Maybe they had help in the past that was meeting those needs, and somehow that has ruptured. It may not be an indication of elder abuse, but it is something that should resonate with you and put your antennas up and make you think maybe something has changed. I'm going to bring this back to my supervisor and let them know of my concerns. We would then typically have an internal conversation, and that we would discuss if it reaches the level of protective services. Or maybe we do a little research in the background and we bring it up to a case manager's attention. Just think of what could happen potentially if these concerns are not brought to someone's attention. It could continue to deteriorate and put someone at risk. SeniorCare employees are mandated reporters and must report any indication of possible elder abuse. Staff are encouraged to talk with your supervisor at SeniorCare about any concerns. Once this consultation is done and the decision is made to file a report, reports can be called into the central intake unit or filed via the web. Anyone can report elder abuse. There are 2 groups of reporters, mandated and non-mandated. Those employed by SeniorCare are considered to be mandated reporters. If you become aware of a situation or a concern, we ask that you pause and talk to the right people, including your direct supervisor or the appropriate staff at SeniorCare. Volunteers are not mandated reporters. However, we strongly urge volunteers and everyone to report any concerns of elder abuse to your supervisor, whether that be a meal site manager or the SeniorCare department supervisor or RSVP staff. SeniorCare is not expecting you to investigate or solve the problem, but rather to bring it to SeniorCare's attention so we can bring it to the attention of those necessary to allow for proper review of the information and determine if a protective services report is required. We urge you to contact your supervisor to discuss any concerns about an elder. If you are unable to reach your supervisor, contact SeniorCare and ask to speak with the department supervisor or the RSVP director or someone in SeniorCare's protective services department. It's important to highlight that protective services is investigation-based. We are primarily civil investigators who look into the concerns and try to understand the contributing factors to a particular situation or event. The reason we do that is, of course, we want to intervene and alleviate what risk going forward. But we really need to understand how it got that way or who the key players are so we can properly make referrals and interventions for the future. Sometimes things don't get better. Things may stay the same or even get worse. And the reason for that most often is because elders have the right not to accept services. Elders have the right to live the way they want to live, even if it's risky, even if it's not ideal. That's something we refer to as self-determination. People reserve the right to take chances and assume the risk of their particular situation. I often go back to situations in my own life, and no one is going to tell me how to live my life. I have the right not to have the help that people think I should have. Maybe I don't like strangers in my house. Maybe I've had a bad experience. So we really want people to know that as well-intentioned as we are, we all have limitations in our roles. As much as we want to affect change, people certainly have the right to privacy, and we must respect that. We cannot unilaterally impose interventions or services on someone. We hope this presentation has been informative and helpful. If you have any questions, please contact your supervisor, the RSVP staff, or myself. We are so thankful for all of you who are doing what you are in your roles, helping elders remain independent throughout the community.